Metaphorical. Imagine a vault protected by the most advanced locks ever designed. The walls are solid steel, but when someone approaches, the door simply swings open from the inside. No force, no lockpicking, just an internal failure of trust. In the enterprise world, we've tried to build that same vault. We've moved from passwords to single sign-on and passwordless logins, creating an environment that feels impenetrable. However, a massive vulnerability remains. Almost all of these modern security systems rely on the web browser as their sole environment for authentication. The browser is currently overloaded with responsibility. It has to initiate the request, render the login interface you see, and receive the final authorization code. When the browser acts as the only trust ender, the enterprise's most sensitive administrative systems are left open to manipulation. If an attacker controls the environment where the login happens, they control the access itself. Modern attackers use adversary-in-the-middle proxies to exploit this, effectively hijacking the entire session. They don't need your password. They just need to sit between your browser and the server. In this scenario, the user isn't being hacked in the traditional sense. Instead, the browser environment is manipulated into trusting a malicious prompt that looks identical to a real one. Effective infrastructure security means looking past the appearance of the credential and addressing the environment where it is authorized. To stop these attacks, the physical location of the approval step must move outside of the vulnerable web browser. True security requires a shift in where the trust boundary is drawn, moving the decision-making power away from the browser and onto the local machine. MAIA SSO addresses this by separating the act of starting a login from authorizing it. This is the MAIA Trust architecture. It creates 3 distinct zones of control: the browser, the local desktop authenticator, and the central SSO server in the cloud. A user initiates a sign-in from their browser, providing a familiar starting point. But here, the browser acts only as a messenger. It pings the MAIA Desktop Authenticator locally, bypassing web vulnerabilities. The user sees a local prompt. Clicking Approve verifies physical presence, creating a trust signal the browser cannot fake. By demoting the browser to a simple transport layer, the local desktop takes its place as the authoritative trust broker for every login. Once the user approves, MAIA Desktop generates a one-time authentication response derived from a dynamic cryptographic policy. This chart explains policy rotation. As the desktop sends its response and the server verifies it, the system immediately rotates to a new policy. Now, consider a threat actor who captures that authentication response on the network. Their attack fails. Because the server has already rotated the policy, that captured response is mathematically obsolete. The server rejects it immediately. This dynamic rotation ensures that even if a response is intercepted, it has zero residual value for a future login. The combination of local physical approval and constant cryptographic rotation provides an architectural defense against both phishing and session replay. For the administrators, the challenge is deploying this rigorous security without disrupting the way the business already functions. While the under-the-hood security is advanced, the integration layer is designed to be familiar to any engineering team. The MAIA SSO server uses standard OAuth-style protocols, exchanging an authorization code for a secure access token, just like any other modern identity provider. This allows an organization to implement zero-trust local verification across their entire application stack without needing to rebuild their internal tools from scratch. It delivers high-assurance local security through the same centralized, frictionless integration patterns that IT departments expect. This deployment topology shows the system's flexibility. The centralized identity orchestration can live on the organization's own private networks or within containerized platforms. This gives the enterprise total sovereign control over their identity infrastructure and user data. We have effectively shifted trust away from vulnerable web pages and placed it within a secure, locally mediated runtime. MAIA SSO provides a pilot-ready zero-trust standard, creating a verified local perimeter to protect an organization's highest-risk operations.